Hello, and welcome back to Unfiltered Voices. So today you haven't just got me and Becky. We are joined by fellow explorer Stu, known as Urban Seal on his social media platforms. So he's obviously a very good friend of Becky's, and they've been out exploring together a number of times. So I'll hand over to you, Beck.
Hello.
Hi, Stuart.
Hi Beck, hi Shannon.
Hello.
I'm dreading this.
No, you'll be fine.
You'll be
It's absolutely
fine.
fine. Okay. I feel like this is going to be a lot of laughing.
Well, there's a lot of things we can't mention, Beck, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. Right, okay. So I'm going to go in with the first question.
Okay,
And that is, what got you into exploring?
what got me into exploring? Okay, so as you know, Matty, my nephew, he the Midlands. He started exploring probably around about a year or so before me. Um, Prior to that, one of my other best mates, we used to do a lot of pirate radio station. So we used to set rigs up on top of buildings and stuff. And the one day we noticed Matty had got into somewhere and we was like, can I, Matt, what are you doing up there? And he told us, so we met Matt up there, had a look at the site to put the pirate radio station up on. And from then on, I basically started going out to places with Matty, and I've loved it ever since. I've never stopped. So yeah, it's I can put it down to Matty. He the Midlands. You don't see about as much no more because he's always busy with work, but he does get out on the odd occasion. But yeah, definitely Matty who got me into it, no, without a doubt.
I mean, that's good. How's Matty's hair transplant going?
I've told him next time I see him, I'm going to put his hair out. But no, it's going all right. It's not. I saw him the other day. It's from what I saw on the pictures and then see him in person. It's not as much as I thought it was, but it's starting to settle down now. So no, it's doing all right by the looks of it.
I'm excited to see the results.
Mid-20s and he's had an hair transplant.
Fucking hell.
That's too much stress.
Yeah.
So how long have you been exploring then, Stu? Like, how long have you been doing it?
So I can't remember exactly what month, but I started exploring around about I think it was around about late 2019.
Okay.
Um, yeah, definitely, yeah, late 2019. I remember doing it all through COVID and that when obviously we shouldn't have been, but we did. So
I feel that's when so many people started exploring. Do you not find that's becoming like a really common time back that everyone says that they started was through COVID?
Yeah, so I started end of 2019, but COVID was only just, I think, coming around then, and there was no restrictions in place. I think they come into effect in like 2020, didn't they?
well,
Yeah.
yeah, not just that as well. Around about COVID, there's hardly any explorers about.
Yeah.
And if you compare to that around about that time, like 2019, 2020, up to early 2021, there's hardly any explorers about, and then all of a sudden, boom! It like really started taking off. Loads of people doing it.
Yeah, there is a lot
I'm
of people doing it now.
I'm
Yeah,
seeing new pages pop up every day, and that's not even an exaggeration. I'm seeing people pop up and thinking, who the fuck are these?
yeah.
Not anything against them. Like if people want to get into it, fine. But I'm thinking, where the fuck are all these people coming from? But moving, so adding to that question, Stu, name three things that you love about exploring.
Three things I love about exploring. I love the time capsules, especially the ones that are not trashed. Um, when inside the time capsule, the first thing I start looking for is black and white photos. I absolutely love the black and white photos, and also I'd say getting out, traveling up and down the UK. I like to travel about. I don't like sitting at home on my backside doing nothing and whatever else.
And you're venturing outside the UK, aren't you?
Yeah, on Friday, there's myself and two other explorers. I'll mention who they are. It's okay. Canuck Urban Explore. Also, pretty much my best mate, really, and also Paulie P. We're heading over to France and Belgium. I've only ever met Paulie P once, actually, about 2 or 3 years ago, but I do speak to him quite a lot. It was actually Paulie P that invited me but it was me that's arranged it all.
That's always a hard job, isn't it? Arranging everything, like the accommodation, the pins. I mean, obviously, like between all of you, you've probably got the pins between like all of you, but you've got to plan everything, and that's stressful.
To be honest, it hasn't been too bad. So booked the ferry. We split it three ways. Well, I think the ferry's less than 100 quid. Um, we got all the pins and whatever else. Uh, we're literally what we're gonna do. We're just gonna wing it with the accommodation. So wherever we are, we have a look to see if there's like any Airbnbs and cheap hotels about. If not, then we probably just end up three men sleeping in a car. So we're just going to wing it. We're going to do a day or two in Belgium, venture off into France, and then back over on the fourth day. Should be back late at night on the Monday, I believe it is.
That sounds so exciting. That sounds like a proper adventure, especially as you don't know where you're staying. So
That's
yeah, I
Yeah,
look forward
scary.
to seeing what
yeah.
seeing what comes from it.
That's the scary side of it. But can I Urban Explore? He is the biggest stress head. I hope he listens to this. He is the biggest stress head you'll ever meet, and is one of the loudest people you'll ever meet as well. I'm constantly telling him, shut up, quieten down, be quiet. Yeah, and he's like, oh, what if we get arrested over there? The police don't give a toss over there. They'll arrest you. We'll end up being banged up abroad, or big heavy fines and whatever else. We're like, but how many people do you know that have been over there, explored, and have been absolutely fine? Well, quite a fair few. Well, so there you go then. But what if we get arrested? Shut up, Sue. His name's Sue as well, by the way.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine. We got caught once over there. In fact, I didn't. So me and another person, there was a few of us. I can't even think off the top of my head how many, like maybe 6 or 7 of us.
Yeah,
And we was in like some chateau that was completely empty, but we see police come in. So 4 of them ran into the chateau, and me and this other person were stuck at a wall, and the police were walking up and down this wall, and we were shitting ourselves thinking if they look over they're going to see us. So they started shouting things out in French. No idea what they said, but the others come out of this chateau, um and the police were talking to them, and me and this person were just sat by the wall still. Everyone got over the wall, and basically all the police done was took everyone's passports. I don't know if they took down the details of the passports, and then just said no more urbex, and then that was it. But me and this other person was just hid by this wall for ages, and it was funny, but it was also scary because as far as I remember they carry guns, and I could be wrong, but I'm
yeah.
pretty sure they do.
I think the French police do carry guns. I'm not too sure about Belgian police. Um, but it's a gun at the end of the day. As long as they're not putting it out and pointing it to my head, it wouldn't bother me, to be honest with you. Watching seeing someone carrying a gun around, well, other than a copper, but yeah,
Yeah, but it's scary because there's a language barrier, and that's what worries me. Like, obviously, I don't speak French. I don't know if you do, Stu, but there is a language barrier, and when you can't talk their language, I feel like it gets really complicated. But having said that, I've been to Europe quite a few times, and I haven't been caught personally, but the
yeah.
group has only been caught once, and they were absolutely fine. Italy is
Well,
supposed to be worse.
same rules as apply over here, really. Yeah, the same rules was to apply that apply over here, really, wouldn't they? When you go and keep as quiet as possible, don't smash nothing, don't make no loud noises, sneak in, get your pictures, get back out. As long as you do
Yeah,
that, you should be okay. And as long as no Karens or anything see you going in.
Yeah, that's what you don't want. And
Yeah,
trust me, the Karens abroad um, are so much worse.
yeah. The other thing I'm dreading actually is I'm driving round in my car with a UK registration number as well. So that's the other thing that's going to stick out like a sore thumb. I'm not going to go over there and hire any car or anything. We're going to be driving around in my car. So that's the other thing I've got to be careful of.
Yeah, I mean, every time that we've been over, we've always been in my car. And
Yeah,
actually, you'll be surprised that I don't think it does make you stand out. I understand your worry, but I don't think you need to worry, um, because there is a lot. You'll notice when you're there. There's a lot of people with English regs driving around.
actually, yes, saying that we went to me and the family went over to France last August. We went to Disneyland. Done a couple of explores while I was over there as well. and there was actually quite a lot of English number plates over there. Actually, I think I actually seen more Spanish plates than anything else.
Yeah. I always sit there and I'm trying to work out where these people are from by their number plates, because
Yeah,
you see so many different like countries going over.
yeah, and I loved it when we pulled into the Disneyland car park because there was absolutely loads of UK number plates in there.
I've never been Disneyland.
You should go.
Yeah,
Probably,
but
probably going back in August.
oh, well, I mean, my kids are getting older now.
No, Beck, you don't. Oh shit, are you still there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought I cut you off by accident. No, you don't understand when you're over there. Yeah, and get to Disneyland. It doesn't matter how old you are. It brings out the inner kid in you.
I've heard this.
It's the
It,
most amazing place. Like, I am a
yeah,
die-hard Disney girl. I've watched all the vlogs. Oh, I love it. And
yeah,
Becky, you'd be in your element.
yeah. You would definitely.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll look into it.
And you know what? It doesn't cost as much as what people think. Like when we went, I don't think we, I don't think we even spent over 700 quid. And that was like three adults, one child. Actually, saying a child, we still had to pay adult prices for her. She's 14. Um, what did we do? The accommodation we booked separately, so we booked an Airbnb. The cost of the ferry getting over there, all in total, I think we was there for about 4 days. It didn't even cost us 700 quid.
That's not
That's really
bad.
good. Yeah.
That
But
is
you just,
good.
I find it cheaper to book everything individually, separately, than all as one package.
Yeah, it is a lot cheaper to do it that way.
Yeah, and book direct as well, not through brokers or anything.
See, when I book accommodation, I do it through booking.com every single time because I find that they're actually quite cheap.
Yeah, Disneyland are done direct through their website, and the Airbnb are done through the Airbnb website. I think the only thing I did book on a broker was the ferry, and I think that was with Booking.com, and that was only like 90 quid with return.
That's good for a ferry. I can't do boats
Mm.
though. I can't fucking swim, and boats terrify me. So yeah, that's something I won't do.
Do it.
I've done the ferry over to Isle of Wight.
I want to go there as well next. Actually, Isle of Wight and Ireland I need to do exploring wise.
Ireland is good, but I fly over. Isle of Wight is also good, but I do find with the Isle of Wight, there's not a lot.
It's
Yeah,
tiny though, isn't it? How can there be?
Yeah,
It's
it
such a
is.
yeah.
tiny place.
Like to get from one side to the other, it takes less than an hour, I think.
Apparently as well. Going back to Belgium, Belgium is the one country that apparently has the most explores in, like abandoned wise compared to any other country. I don't know how true that is.
Mm,
There's more abandoned stuff in Belgium than there is any other country.
do you know what? When I think about it, there is a lot over in Belgium that's abandoned. A lot.
Yeah.
So,
Mm. Right, what's the next question, Beck?
so we done the three things that you love about exploring, but what are three things that you hate about exploring?
Three things I hate about exploring. Oh, you know what? That is a very good question.
It's hard when you put on the spot, isn't it?
The one thing I hate is you see someone, for example, go and do a time capsule, and you see their pictures, and you think, well, I mean, that place looks absolutely banging. You get hold of that pin, or you manage to find it, or whatever, and you go there within, let's say, 2 or 3 days, and the place is absolutely fucking trashed.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I get like when I go to an explore, I'm not a rummager. I'll just take a picture of what I see, basically. Do you know what I mean? I don't go mooching through drawers or anything like that. Yeah,
Nah.
I get why people like to go mooching through drawers, and I don't mean like for the theft side of it, which is another thing I hate actually, is the thieves. Yeah, but if you're gonna go mooching in through a drawer, have your mooch, do whatever. Take a picture of a couple of things that's inside that drawer, put it back, and put the drawer back in. Why do you need to rip it out, tip the drawer upside down, go rummaging, and whatever else?
Yeah, literally throw it over your shoulder. Because
Yeah,
I completely get it. And you're not the first person to say that. And it happens way too often.
Yeah,
Like majority of these time caps don't look the same when you get there. Sometimes you
no.
can't even see the floor because people have literally just ransacked the place for what? So yeah.
And you normally know when Becky's been to an explore before you because it's been tidied up like her own house. Furniture moved around. Yeah,
No, listen, some of these places I walk in and I feel sad because some of them are such a mess, and I just feel like it makes it a bit better if I tidy it up.
yeah. The other thing I hate as well is when you're in a place and you see like high value stuff and you know you can't take it because it's going to be theft and whatever else. Yeah, and you know you're leaving it there knowing that the next person's going to go in and it's going to go missing.
Yeah, we had
Absolutely.
this conversation, didn't we, Beck?
Yep.
Like personally, we don't do it. Like I couldn't. I'd have a guilty conscience. But you just know someone's gonna have a nice lump sum of money in their pocket because they're 100% gonna take that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's strange in it. So, but yeah, I think they're all very fair
I'm
points.
going to mention something now. I've not come across it myself yet, and in all honesty, some people are going to probably hate me for saying this. Yeah, and I really don't know what I'd do if you walked into a house. Let's say you had a rummage, and you found £5,000 in cash. In all honesty, what would you do?
I take it.
Who wouldn't?
If
I'd
it
say
was
the
a
same.
proper bando, yeah, that there was no
Yeah,
chance that this person was in a care home or,
yeah,
like
yeah,
if it was like absolutely fucked, years and years and years old, I would take it.
yeah.
Don't tell me you wouldn't.
You wouldn't, would you? You wouldn't think twice about it. But
Becky,
at the same
speak
time,
up. Stop.
I'm letting you two talk.
oh,
Yeah, no, I would take it. I would take it because,
Yeah.
like, if I knew 1000% that that house was abandoned and it wasn't like someone just hid it and they're gonna, like, the owner hid it and they're not gonna come back to get that money, I think I would take it. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
because if
But
I
things
didn't,
like,
someone else would.
sorry, go on. Yeah. But things like high value jewelry and things like that, no, absolutely not. Not a chance.
Nah, no, I
No.
agree with that.
I can tell you about a house now. I'm not going to mention what area it's in. Um, people, uh, no, I'm not going to say that. But about, probably about 4 years ago now, I remember it very, very well. It was on Christmas Eve. Myself and Matty went and explored this house. And when we went and explored this house afterwards, we got loads of shit for it. Yeah, because we weren't on the scene long. And, this house is like, one of them bangers that people go on about. And people are like, how the fuck did you get that pin? Who sent you that? That sort of thing. And when we was in there, upstairs in one of the bedrooms, I found two suitcases. And I pulled the suitcases out, put them on the bed, and I opened them up. And I shit you not, I've never seen so much jewelry in all my life. And I called Matty up. I was like, Matt, look at this. He's like, oh, it's just costume jewelry. Are you still there? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. My thing went off on my phone. Matt was just like, oh no, it's just costume jewelry. But when we actually put our cameras down and everything else and had a look through it properly, no, it wasn't costume jewelry. It was really expensive stuff with all hallmarks and everything on it. Yeah, and then when you look around the rest of the house and that, there's absolutely shed loads of silver everywhere, like real silver and that. And we was like, you know what, we can't leave this here like this. So I went and knocked on the neighbour's door and says, do you know where the owner is or anything like that? And they said, oh, if you go and knock on such and such a number up the road, that's the vicar. The vicar knows everything about it. So we went and spoke to him, and he says, oh, it's he did give me a name, and I can't remember the name. She's actually in care. She's been in care for about 2 years because she had a stroke. But she is due to come back out and relive there, which never happened, by the way. Um, and he said, if you look at like around the gardens and that, like all the bushes, all the grass and everything's all been cut back and everything, like, all the rubbish and that is gone. He says she's due to come back. I was like, oh, okay. And I told him about all this, like what we found and what we'd done. And he's like, I think we better call the police. So we had to call the police. The police came and we showed them like what we found and explained why we was there. Absolutely fine with us. and the police actually got the two suitcases and hid them in the house. And I believe that they're still there to this day now. So I'm just hoping that people don't go back to this house, and it is still there, abandoned.
I know what house you're on about.
You do, don't you?
I do.
Yeah,
Um, so I think people have been there, but as of yet, I
yeah.
don't think anyone's found them,
No,
which is a good thing because
Yeah,
it's a good thing.
definitely.
I don't know 100% if they are actually still there now. Yeah, but at the time, that's what was done with them. But it was all basically hidden away, very, very well as well.
I mean that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Oh.
So that is similar. Obviously, not the strangest thing, but that is pretty cool. That's a really cool story, to be fair. What's the strangest thing you've ever found?
Strangest thing I've ever found. You know what? I spoke to my daughter about this earlier when Becky sent the list over. What did you say the strangest thing I found was? That story. Oh yeah, it was actually. It was that what she just mentioned. What I just mentioned. I wouldn't say it's the strangest thing, but it's like
The in that house that you posted, was it the Egyptian house?
yeah,
Stuff all in
the,
there.
the Egyptian house that we actually we recently explored it with some other explorers. The Egyptian house. I've never ever seen anything like that. So many Egyptian like artifacts and everything like left in there.
Mm.
Um, just to be honest, stuff that you're probably never going to see again in another house.
Yeah, I
But
haven't done that one, but I've seen it. I know what you're on about. Yeah,
yeah,
I have seen it, but I have not done it
yeah,
either.
but there could be loads of strange things that I found. But it's just like, how can I put it? It might be strange to others, but normal to me. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
But probably come back to that question in a minute, actually, because my daughter's on her phone now looking through my page to see what she can find.
Okay, Becky, what's the next question?
So it was something you've never explored.
Sorry, say that again.
Something that you've never explored.
Something I've never explored. You see, I don't do a lot of industrial stuff. I probably can count on one hand how much industrial I've done. Um, you know what? That's a good question. Something I've never explored. Something I've never explored.
We need like music for when people are thinking of their answers. Like, you know, the music when you're in the queue on the phone.
Countdown music.
Yeah.
You know what? I've never done anything like. You see, one of the things I do love exploring, and people like you won't see me post a lot of it, but I do it quite a lot. I love doing churches and like old derelict churches, not like churches that are left open, but sorry, not churches that are in use, but derelict churches that are left open 24/7.
Mhm.
So, but going to that, one of the things I've never explored, I've never done like an abandoned castle or anything like that. I'd love to do an abandoned castle.
That would be
Yeah.
quite cool. A castle would be
Yeah.
really cool.
That's the only thing that really comes to mind. But anything else, I can't think of anything. What about you guys?
Um, I'm trying to think, but I feel like I've explored pretty much all
Something
that
we've
you
never
can.
explored.
Yeah, like I feel like there isn't anything that I haven't explored, but I could be wrong.
Mm.
Hold on, there is. No,
What?
Go on.
no, sorry, I was going to say bowling alley, but I have done a bowling alley.
Oh yeah, I haven't done a bowling alley. There was that one that popped up a few months back, and I was gonna go to it, or probably just over a year ago. I can't remember, and I was just
Is
gonna
that the
go
one
to
down
it.
by me, Beck?
I,
No,
f- I think it is down south.
There's one open by me at the moment.
I know what one
Oh,
you're on about because I tried that one before. The
Yeah.
the one I'm on about, I'm just gonna say because it was put in like papers and stuff, but it was the one in Brighton under some leisure centre place.
Okay.
yeah, I think the day before or the morning I was gonna go. I can't remember who told me. If I'm honest with you, someone did tell me and sent me a picture saying, "Don't bother. It's been sealed up." And showed me
Yeah.
the fresh boards that have been put on. So I left it, and to be honest, I've not seen anyone do it since.
People have done it. People have gone in. I think it was breeze blocked, and people went in and just smashed it open again.
Oh,
But
Yeah.
for me, I think I don't know, because I'm kind of the opposite to Stu. I prefer industrial over a time cap. I do get the cravings for a time capsule, but I much prefer the big ones like hospitals, police stations, and stuff
You
like
see,
that.
I'd love to do a lot more industrial, but what a lot of people tell you about me, I absolutely hate heights, and I'm probably the world's shittest climber that you'll ever see. That is why, like for example, like when myself and Matty and like Canuck Urban Explore, like every weekend without fail, we'd be out, and sometimes like once in the week. And to be honest, to them pair, if it wasn't for those, there's probably a shitload of stuff that I probably wouldn't have done if it wasn't for them. Like boosting me up and throwing me over a fence or something, for example. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like sketchy places, and where you got Matty, which we'll probably come to onto a subject about Matty afterwards, actually. But like Matty, like egging me on, saying, "Come on, Stu, you can do it, you can do it." And like he'll be back and forth doing it himself, showing me. He's like, "Go on, Stu, you can do it." And I'll be there for about an hour. Oh, I don't know, and then I'll just go for it. So without certain people there helping me, there's probably a lot of stuff I wouldn't have done.
I think that's a
yeah,
big thing. Like, I think sometimes people like telling you that you can do something, like, really, like, spurs you on to do it. I've
Yeah,
been the same.
like yourself, Becky, with airborne.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have done half of what I've done, like climbing on rooftops and stuff like that, if it wasn't for airborne, because things like that terrified me before. But I just need, like, if I'm ever out with airborne, like, I'll always say to him, "Do you think I can do this?" Or like,
yeah,
"Is this safe?" And he'll tell me yes, and then like I'm confident to do it. But I just need someone first to say yes, it's all good.
yeah. Seen the video of you doing the shuffle truffle over the ladders going between buildings. I could never do that. Not a
That
chance. No
no,
way.
that was scary. That was scary.
that's been brought up so many times. That's like your fate. That's what you're famous for. Cause same, Stu. Like my stomach flipped watching that. I was feeling physically sick looking at that drop. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the next question is, have you ever been scared? So I think we mean
Yeah.
this more as in like, have you been scared like by security or that someone else is in the house or? But then I guess you could turn it on to the whole, have you ever been scared climbing and stuff like that? What you were just speaking to about.
Security don't bother me. Security don't scare me at all.
Yeah.
The same with the police. At the end of the day, if they're going to catch you, they're going to catch you. The only thing they should be asking you to do is leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so if they ask me to leave, I'll leave. Do you know what I mean? Won't give them no hassle, no bullshit or nothing. If they start being dicks towards me, then obviously I'm going to start being a dick back towards them. But I think it's going to be about 4 years this year. There was Becky knows about it. Um, it's actually on YouTube. Matty, my nephew, he tried starting up YouTube. It never kicked off or anything like that. But there is a good video on there of me absolutely shitting my pants. It was middle of winter. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and we went down to, I think it was over Kent way. I think. I could be wrong, but I know it wasn't. Put it this way, I know it wasn't far from the River Thames. Yeah, which you'll understand why in a minute. We went to some tunnels, and these tunnels apparently was used during World War II as a hospital. And even like all the old buckets that was still in there that they used to do their business in, like if they needed the toilet and stuff. And getting to it, it looked like a lot of land had been knocked down and cleared away. It was a really muddy area, and just getting to the entrance, it was quite sketchy, like really muddy in that. And we managed to find the access point. We got in, and you can see this tunnel going like sloping downwards, like going underground, if you know what I mean. And we started walking down there, and Matty went off in one direction, and there's another lad that comes with us exploring as well called a Deal, Becky's best mate.
I like a
uh,
deal.
he's all right. The three of us, so the three of us had gone in. Matty went off in one direction, and a Deal was stick to his side like bloody glue, and I could hear Matty saying, come this way," but he was giggling. And like anyone that doesn't know Matty's got ADHD. When he was a kid, he was a little shit, and he's still a little shit now. And I'm like, no, I'm not trusting you one bit. It's there giggling. It's like, no, seriously, come this way. I found another way out. I was like, no, like shouting back down towards the other end of the tunnel. I'm going back the way I came from, which I know is safe. And he's like, no, come this way, come this way. And then he went quiet. I was like, I've got to find where he's gone. So as we're walking through the tunnels, I've looked down at my feet and there's like wet clay on the floor. And at this point, it was about as deep as the sole of my boot. But then the further he was going down, the deeper I was getting. And I come to this like big archway, and there's like a massive set of double doors there, and they was just slightly open. You couldn't open them anymore. And then I heard Matty shouting again, "Come here, come here!" And I'm heading towards this door, and at this point, it was like up to my knees. I'm like, "Fuck, what's going on here?" And I looked at a deal, and like he's walking on it like he's on a magic carpet or something. And so I've gone out through these doors, and I can see Matty in the distance, but all I could see was this torch. And he's like, "Go back, go back." And like, so Adil's literally like jumped over my shoulders, managed to get past me. But as I'm going in through the door, I've got stuck. I couldn't move. And the only way I could describe it is like quicksand. So Matty's managed to get back. He's got back over me, and I've managed to pull myself in like through the door a little bit further. But now it's coming up past my waist. I'm like, fucking hell. At this point, I was starting to shit myself. I could not move, and the best way to describe it is you try and lift your leg out and it's like sucking you back in again. But the more you're like trying to get yourself out of it, the deeper you're going.
Mm.
And I think about half an hour, 45 minutes into it, I was there for over an hour. Um, it was like under my armpits. So like Matty was like, "Oh, do you want me to go and get some help?" I was like, "No, you fucking ain't going anywhere, leaving me here on my own." None of us had signals on our phones or anything like that, and all we had was literally our torches. And it's like -2, -3 at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And eventually, Matty managed to like get a hold of like, all the buckets and stuff, and he's like made some like stepping stones like for the buckets. And I'm just talking about it now, and I'm still in disbelief if I'm honest with you. Um, and I think I had a belt on around my waist, and like Matty was trying to pull me by my belt, trying to pull me out, couldn't get me out or nothing. And I don't know how he'd done it. At one point, I managed to find an old cable hanging down from the ceiling, and or we pulled it down. I'm trying to pull myself up on that, and at the same time, I got Matty in a deal, pulling my belt, trying to get me out of it, and they managed to get me out. But at that point in there, I don't know if hypothermia was starting to set in or what, but I could like literally feel myself going, or the colour from my face was draining off. I was freezing cold, but I was sweating at the same time. My eyes were going all fuzzy. Everything, like my hearing was going all fuzzy. It was a very, very strange experience. But what I recommend is that anyone goes on to the best way for you guys to witness it is go on to Hidden Midlands YouTube and watch the video on there. I think he named it "Seal Got Beached."
I've seen that video and that does look scary, and that probably is the most scariest thing I've heard from anyone so far.
Yeah, and
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, it sounds like my worst nightmare. I'm not even joking you. That sounds horrific.
yeah, I probably didn't describe it as well as I could have done there, if I'm honest with you. Yeah, but if it wasn't for Matty and Adil being there and getting me out and helping, I'd probably be dead now. I'd probably still be there and like unfound.
That's
Yeah, and
scary.
then not
Yeah.
long, and I was just wondering why was it all so wet, and like as it was, and then when you look on maps, you're probably about 50 meters away from the River Thames, and I don't know if everyone knows, but the River Thames it has a tide.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
does the tide coming in and out at certain times, or what? I don't know. But if it wasn't for them pair, I'd be dead. Yeah, simple as that. But then the funny side of it is like when we managed to get out the tunnel, then we're trying to walk back. We're trying to walk back to the car, so we have to fight our way through the mud and that again. Yeah. Then when we got to the car, I think I hadn't long had my new car at the time, and I'm like, no way are we sitting in my car, fucking covered in clay and that. Yeah. And I think Matty had about 3 layers of clothes on. Yeah, so Matty managed to take off one layer of clothes, and that's it. It was like nothing had happened. Yeah, but then myself, I had a pair of boots on. I took my boots off and slung them. Then I had my I had a pair of jeans on, so they was like thick in wet clay, also soaking wet. So you can imagine how heavy they was as well. Yeah, especially the next day when we weighed them, I think there was just under 4 stone in weight.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Um, a deal only had one layer of clothes on as well. Yeah, so I'm like, we're not sitting in my fucking car like that. Yeah, I says to Matty, I says we need to find an Asda or something. I'll give you my bank card. You go in, get me some spare clothes. So you got me sitting at the front driving in just my, I think I just had a t-shirt on and my underwear. Matty's sitting at the front next to me in all his clothes still, and Adele sitting in the back in just these underwear.
Can you
Imagine
imagine
if
if
you
you
got
got
pulled
pulled
at that
over?
Yeah.
moment.
So can you imagine if we got pulled over, two Englishmen sitting at the front and a Muslim lad sitting in the back?
Oh my
Oh
Fucking
my
god.
god!
hell.
So I sent Matty into Asda, yeah, with my money. I said, "Go and get me some clothes. Yeah, get me something decent. You know, we can at least try and carry on exploring." What does he do? He comes out with a pair of pajamas, which I've still got to this day, but I don't wear them. Oh, my daughter's got them. She wears them.
That is a
Oh my god!
crazy story. That is a story to be able to tell. Yeah, it sounds like my worst nightmare.
Oh god, it was
It is
funny.
scary.
Yeah. And then the next day, I was fuming because my car, the inside of it, is absolutely covered in clay. So I took it to Matt and made him clean it because he didn't listen to me about not going through about when I said don't fucking go through that door, go back the way we came from.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
And
Yeah.
the other thing is as well, a few months back, I work away a lot, and my boss booked me a hotel. And when I've rocked up to the hotel, sometimes I look on my maps and I think, oh, is there any explorers around here? And literally just round the corner is where the fucking tunnels were. Like, fuck you, no, it's literally a stone's throw away. I can't get away from the place.
Did you get PTSD?
At the time, I was absolutely shitting myself, but now, thankfully, I do see the funny side of it.
I mean, it is funny in a way, but if that was me at the time, I just think I'd have cried.
Yeah, I think at the
Absolutely.
time as well, I think the iPhone 12 had just came out or 13.
Well,
Yeah, and I had it that day, and I had it in my pocket, and all my jeans and everything were all soaking wet. You know, my phone survived without a scratch.
What the fuck?
It's the first thing I look for. And my car keys. Yeah, the first thing I look for. Oh, my phone, is my phone all right? It was absolutely fine.
It was just you.
Yeah, just me. But yeah, I recommend anyone go and have a look at that video if you want to laugh. Oh, and sorry, the other funny thing is about it when that video started first getting out, everyone was always talking about it and whatever else. And even up until recently, with my job, I work up and down the UK like every day, well, Monday to Friday, and but I work in like garages, but not like like your backstreet garages in like the main dealerships and that. And I've gone in to go and do some work in one of them, and one of the guys recognised me. He's like, he says, "You're that lad that got stuck in that tunnel that time." I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." He said, "Yeah, you do." And I started, and we started laughing. And anyway, it became their break time, so they're sitting in the corner of the garage, and they got the laptop out. And the bastard's only got it up on YouTube, hasn't he? And they're playing it, like, and there's about 10 of them sitting there watching it. And I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, I have actually been recognised a few times by people from that video.
That's crazy.
But it didn't even go viral, which is the mad thing.
Oh my god.
So
I think I need to link that video in this
Yes.
so
I'm
people
yeah,
can
gonna go
do
look
it.
find
at
it.
it in a minute.
But oh my god, yeah, mental.
I've got my own image in my head of what this looked like, but I need to see it from the
The,
YouTube video.
there was the funny part of the video. I tried to swim out of it, and I was literally picking scoops of it up, and trying to throw it to the side. And I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "I don't know."
Just trying anything at that point.
Oh, hell. But yeah,
I,
watch that video and you get a more clear view of it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I'll,
gonna
I'll
take a look.
I'm definitely gonna link that video. Okay, right. So I'm gonna go on to the next question, which is,
Okay.
have you ever experienced anything paranormal?
Right. I've actually been looking forward to this question. Okay. I wouldn't say I'm a believer, but I'm not a disbeliever either. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm skeptical and I'm open minded, but there's at least one incident that stands out very well for me. Do you guys, Shannon? How long have you been exploring?
In about 3 years.
Okay, there used to be. I can't remember if it's Wales or not. It was Shropshire, but it was like borderline Wales. There used to be a time capsule called. There's two names to it. There's Vanity House and Plough Farm. I think Plough
No,
Farm was the original name for it. Um,
nah, I've not heard of it.
do you remember it, Beck?
No.
It actually burnt down not long ago, and in all honesty, it's probably the best thing for it.
Ah.
Right. Okay. So again, myself, Matty, and Adil, we went to this house. Um, and Matty at the time used to do lives, and during his live, someone came on. I don't know if you recognise his name. Her name was Terry Coops, and apparently she's quite big in the paranormal world. And she used to work with that guy. I can't remember his name. It's Derek something.
Derek Acora?
He's
Yeah, that's
possibly,
it. Yeah.
yeah. She used to work with him, and she appeared on Matt's live, and she's talking to Matty, and like, so we're downstairs in this house. You have to climb through the back window. It was all trashed and hoarded and whatever else. Then you walk through the living room, turn right, and you come to like a small like hallway, and there's like another room to the right hand side with a piano in there. Um, then you go round to the back of the house. There was another room, and the floor had collapsed down into the basement. And like, so Matty's walking around there, and she's saying to him, "Oh, there's a woman following you around. She's got grey hair. She wears glasses, but I can't quite get a name, but it begins with an M." And I remember seeing old letters and that in there, and the lady that lived in there was named her name is Margaret. So we're thinking,
Ooh.
Oh,
how the fuck does she know this?
yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, thinking, oh fuck off, bullshit, whatever. Yeah, so I left Matty in a deal downstairs, and then I've gone upstairs on my own. And you come to the top of the stairs, and it's like a tiny little square landing. You turn right, it takes you straight into the bathroom. Then if you turn left, it's like best way to explain it, it takes you into like another like massive room. Yeah, but inside that massive room is like three other doors to go into like other bedrooms. And I've gone in there, and there's two bedrooms right next to each other. And I remember I was standing in between the two, and I was looking into the one room. There's a bed in there, and an old an old dressing table, and a very old Victorian style black and white picture. And I'm standing there in the doorway on my own, and I've just took a picture, and I shit you not, in my ear, all I heard was, "Yeah." I was like, I've spun round thinking, what the fuck? Thinking it was Matty messing about. There was no one there. I was like, no, something's not right there. And at this point, I'm going like cold, like goosebumps and that. I was like, fucking something's not right. So then Matty and Adele comes up, and I didn't mention anything to them because Matty was on the live. And if you tell people things, they seem to make things up. If you know what I mean,
Mm.
yeah. And then the other bedroom next to us, there was a bed in there and like a rocking chair, and the ceiling had collapsed on top of the bed. And this Terry Coops was on the live, and she was on about, oh, the lady with the grey hair and glasses is sitting in the rocking chair. She wants you to go into the bedroom. And so we were like, yeah, okay, whatever. So anyway, we left it after that. We thought nothing of it. We came away, and I told Matty what happened. And Matty, like, giggling to himself, oh, off, load of bollocks, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And what happened after that? Matty then, he got talking to a couple of guys. I don't know if you remember a group called they're a DJing group called Vice Versa, and during COVID they used to go around to like the football stadiums, doing lives outside the stadiums, like doing DJing and that.
Mm.
Uh, do you know what I'm on about?
No.
Uh, Wayne Scott Fox and I can't remember the other guy's name. Anyway, they messaged Matty saying that, that they're interested in like doing exploring and whatever else. And Matty says, "Oh, come and meet us here." But they wanted to get into the paranormal side of it, so we went back to that house and they set up all these cat balls and everything, and they put voice recorders all over the house. Well, a voice recorder in each room, and during being there, the cat balls and that kept on going off, which I found was a bit strange because no one was anywhere near them or anything like that. There weren't nothing there to cause a vibration for them to go off. You know what I mean? You had to hit them quite hard as well for them to go off.
Yeah.
And we had the voice recorders and that. So time went by, blah blah blah. We left, and those two lads was in their car, and me and Matty was in my car. And I know for a fact we all left at exactly the same time, because we was racing through the country lanes and that, prattling about as lads do, and one of them phones up about an hour or so later saying, "Oh, I've left one of the fucking voice recorders in the house. I've left it on the piano." And we're like, "Okay." And I was working in the area the next day, and I says, "I'll go back and get it." But I never went back and got it. Me and Matty went back later that evening to go and fetch it instead. So we picked it up. Matty met up with these lads, gave it to them, and when we was leaving, we papped our horns at each other. And when you play this voice recording back, you hear us leave, you hear us pap the horns, you hear the cars driving off, yeah, and then I shit you not, you hear the keys on the piano start being played.
Ugh.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, and there was no one else there. Then you heard like a couple of footsteps, yeah, and then like a loud bang. And bear in mind again, this is like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. There's no one about, and plus it was in the middle of nowhere. You had like a loud bang, and then like birds and that going like mental. And we're like, what
Oh,
the fuck? And we know for a fact there was absolutely no one else there. There was no way those lads could have set that up or anything like that because we all left at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like that was behind us in the car. That was actually in front of us in the car. So, do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's a couple of the weirdest things that I've came across.
that's giving
Yeah,
Uh,
goosebumps.
it
do,
sounds
do,
spooky. I'm
I
a
did
bit.
have I did have another one actually. Do you remember? Did you ever do Westbury House?
Westbury,
Yes, that's
I
not far
did.
from me at all. Love Westbury.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what the access would have been for you when you went, but when we went, we had to go across the field, and then we had to drop down into like a gap, and then through a window into the basement,
Yeah.
and then you got there was like a long corridor. All the ceiling was like suspended ceiling had gone from in the corridor, so all you could see was all the pipelines and that. And at the very end of this corridor, there was a door, but the door was missing, but the door frame was there. And I remember I stood there and I was taking a picture of the corridor, and I was like, something don't fucking look right up there. And I says to Matty, I says, I'm not looking at my pictures until we've left this place. So later that night when we got home, I looked at this doorway and I was like, what's that? It's like a white shadow. And I've zoomed in, and I've got it on my phone somewhere, and there's like a white silhouette of a woman coming through the door, like floating, but like
Oh,
holding onto the door frame, if you know what I mean. And the picture to me stands out quite like really well.
that's
I, I, I,
creepy.
I'll have to find it and send it over to you. But yeah, they're
Mm.
the only three things really that I've had.
Funnily enough, obviously, like I said, Westbury's quite near where I live, and so I went back there quite late in the day. I was quite late to it. Like you're talking about access, I walked straight in. There was multiple entrances, just a straight walk in, but that
Yeah.
place did have the strangest feeling, and it was notoriously used for these paranormal investigators. The stairs, especially, I've seen so many videos of these paranormal investigators getting evidence on the stairs, but that place 100% had some fucking creepy ass vibe, I'm telling you, because so I fully believe what you're saying. I've only been in 2 or 3 places where I have thought something, you just get that feeling, and Westbury is one of them. So, yeah. Right, Stuart, I've got the next question, and it's fallen on me again, and I hate this question. I love this question, and I hate this question. It's a take it or leave it.
Go on.
Who's your most disliked explorer? And I say explorer with quotation marks.
Oh, you know what? How can I put it? My most hated explorers are the ones that are full of shit, just full of constant bullshit, and will make up any story for you to try and like them and for you to give them attention.
I hear you.
I hear
Yeah.
you. And there's
Hate is
multiple. There's many of them. There really is.
yeah, hate is a very strong word.
Mhm.
Yeah, but at the same time, with some people you gotta be careful because with all the bullshit that they can come out with, yeah, it's not saying that that person hasn't got an illness where they believe that sort of thing. Do you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah, we do. We've had this conversation,
Yeah,
haven't we, Becky?
Yep.
yeah. It's not that
Yeah.
I hate anyone. Dislike, yeah, dislike. That's a hard word to try and explain, like your reasons why. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Mm,
as the word hate,
I think you've explained it very well, actually, and I think
you know where I'm coming from.
yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah,
definitely.
but as much as you hate someone, even though it's a strong word to use, and dislike someone, I wouldn't say I want bad to happen to them
No,
at the
of
same
course.
time.
Yeah,
But
I think that's a fair answer.
I do. Very well answered.
yeah,
Uh, Moving on then.
Okay. So, have you ever hurt yourself exploring?
um, no, I wouldn't say I've massively hurt myself or badly injured myself, apart from the odd scratches, cuts, bruises, and
Yeah.
your dignity and whatever else. But no, no, I wouldn't say I've seriously hurt myself ever. Not yet, anyway. Hope
And
touch
Yeah,
wood
not
again.
yet. Touch wood.
yeah, let's hope there's never a time that you're gonna ever seriously hurt yourself.
Oh, that went funny then. You're still there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You
Becky went
did.
like a robot.
You did
Oh,
go a bit like a robot, Beck. What did you say? Let's hope what?
let's hope that he never hurts himself seriously anywhere.
Yeah, we've all touched wood. So the
Yeah.
next question, Stu, is tell us a secret that nobody knows about you.
I don't it wouldn't be a secret, would it? um, honestly, no, I wouldn't say I've got any secrets.
You can't give us anything that no one knows about you.
No.
That is gay.
Yeah, I'm gay. I fancy
That's not a
Ricky.
secret. I've heard
Me, me,
that.
me and Ricky fancy each other. Me and Ricky are having an affair. Um, we're
I'd say that's
swingers.
pretty well known.
Yeah, we're swingers.
Yep.
Uh, yeah.
Can you take him off my hands? Okay. Right. So the next question is, what do you think about the urbex community right now?
The urbex community right now can be a very, very horrible and bitchy place to be in.
Mm,
Yeah, we all have our small circle of friends, and I think for anyone else to come into that circle is going to take a lot
yeah.
of trust earning. Do you know what I mean? There's so many people coming to the urbex world now, you just don't know who's who anymore. And there has been a couple of people recently, or a few people recently that you thought was okay people, and then you're seeing stories all over Facebook about them or all over Instagram about them, and you're like, nah, I don't believe that about that person. But then you hear things and like see like the proof and whatever else, and you think, wow, that person's really like that. Do you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
a lot of
Yeah.
people need to gain a lot of trust from others, and but yeah, it's a very bitchy place. I think there's too much competition in there.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone should be in competition with another person. I think we all do the same thing. We all got the same. Um, yeah, we all want the same thing from it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we all end up at the same places eventually, whether we like it or not. So why do you need to hate each other about it?
Yeah,
Just fucking do your thing, get on with it.
Excuse me.
yeah, that's how it should be. I feel like it's a complete mess at the moment, but you know, I feel like we all have our little friendship groups, and I like it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. The next question is your biggest ick with exploring.
What do you mean by that?
So like one of my icks, and Becky, we've discussed this as well, like, is people outright naming a location, baiting it out, almost as if they want it to get vandalised or something
Yeah.
like that. So that's an ick of me. Or it could be something like someone, this is a pretty obvious one, so hopefully you've got more interesting one. Someone going and just completely spray painting a building, or
Okay,
someone
good point.
claiming, I've been here first. It was me. It was me. It was me. I was here first. That's an ick of mine as well. Because why does it fucking matter? Like you said, we're all there for
Yeah.
the same reason. So that's an ick. What's your ick?
Yeah. Yeah, going back to what you said about um sorry, what did you say at the start of that, Shannon?
What did I say at the
I
start
just
of
had a
it?
thought. I just had a thought in my head. What did you
Becky,
say?
what did I say?
Baiting
Um,
out the locations.
yeah,
Sorry. Yeah, baiting out the locations. Fucking hell. Um, so I had two things on my mind at the same time. Then, yeah, baiting out the locations. Uh, I don't purposely give the locations away. Yeah, but I will also try my very, very best. Yeah, to make sure that anything that I post doesn't give that location away.
Mhm.
Okay. However, if someone does spot that I've accidentally give the location away, or yeah, this one's, people spot that you're giving the location away, but then they start messaging, oh, you fucking give the location away, the tour bus is going to end up there now, blah blah, this, that, and the other, and you're like, well, I ain't done that on purpose, but I get why people think it, but at the same time, why should I be responsible for that person going there and doing what they do?
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So like, I wouldn't purposely go and give the location away, but if I do it by accident, yeah, and then someone points out to me, oh, that picture gives the location away, I'll go and get it removed. But if someone finds it from me giving that location away by accident, yeah, then they go there, trash it, smash it up, set it on fire, steal things. Why should I be held responsible for that?
no, you
You
shouldn't.
shouldn't be. Definitely not.
Yeah. And the other thing is as well, people stealing your fucking pictures.
That's
Why?
annoying.
Never had that done. Does that mean my pictures are shit? Because no one's ever done that to me.
No, I've had it done. It is frustrating, especially when they don't credit you as well.
Yeah.
What do you mean stealing your pictures? What, and using them on their profiles as if they've taken them and stuff?
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. There was someone. The idiot actually gave me his number as well, but I never phoned it. But I found out it was over. It was in Indonesia, and it was taking my pictures, Dark Explores pictures. Did he take your pictures as well, Beck?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, there's quite a few pictures that they took, and the Peaky lads pictures. And like I was messaging him, he's like, oh, I'm just trying to boost, get my page up and running and whatever else. I was like, mate, use your own fucking pictures for fuck's sake. I said, it's not that. I
Yeah.
said, you don't even credit for them. He said, but I'm sharing your pictures. I was like, no, you're taking the pictures and posting them yourself. Yeah. If you used to share my page to your page and share them that way, then I couldn't be bothered about it, if I'm honest with you.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? But, but I think they still do it now, actually.
So annoying.
Yeah. What can you do about it, eh?
It is what it is. As soon as they go on the internet, people just take.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So the next question
I feel
is
like he's already answered this.
what the pin sharing one.
Yeah, but go for it because it can explain in a different way.
Do you share
Oh,
pins?
I thought he was going to go back to another question and then that he never said, but no, that's okay, that's good. Do I share pins only with people that I trust?
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
Only with people that
standard.
I trust. You what? What you say, Shannon?
I said, yeah, standard.
Oh, well, please. I
No,
thought
I
you
think I
I
think
thought
that's
you called
fair.
me. I thought you called me a fucking shithead then.
What, for only sharing pins with people you trust?
Yeah.
Yes, Stu,
Why
you
wouldn't you share?
should.
Why wouldn't you share the pins with your friends? Do you know what I mean? It's like the only hard thing I find about it is like, for example, like I says to Becky now, I've seen Becky post something. Becky, give me that pin, and then I went there, I explored it, then I posted it, but then I've got another friend saying, "Oh, can I have that off you?" But then you're like, "Oh no, I can't because the person who gave it me says I can't share it and whatever else, this, that, and the other." That's the bit I find hard about it.
Yeah.
See, I don't find that hard at all. I will openly say, I get what you mean. It can be a bit like, especially if it's somebody that you have a friendship with, but I will openly
That's what I
say,
mean. Yeah.
yeah, like, I'm really sorry.
But
I
at the same
can't.
time, if that person is a good friend with you, then they should also understand it.
Yeah, and it's difficult if they've helped you out previously and you feel like, oh God, So, but yeah, I think that's really fair. I mean, if who does just share pins left, right, and centre? Obviously, there are people out there, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's not the right way to do things. So, do you have an
Especially,
exploring?
sorry,
Sorry.
especially the dickheads that make pages called pin sharing group, and then just whack a load of
Yeah.
pins on there.
Mm.
Like those are the they're the biggest dickheads that walk the planet.
And do you know what? Some really good time caps went on that group. I was surprised. First of all, it was just shitty burnt out shells, which I don't, they doesn't matter about them ones. They can get put out there. But when the time caps were getting put on there, I was thinking, shit, like, they're gonna get into the wrong hands
Yeah,
quickly.
but the person that done that page, well, the two people that started that page, they done that on purpose just to make a point to other people.
Yeah, he's a wind up. He's an absolute wind up.
Yeah, well,
Um,
they both are. Those two of them. I don't know if you're aware.
I only know one of them. And I personally never done me wrong. I know they're a
Yeah,
bit of a fucking idiot.
yeah,
But I know that this one in Pacific was, yeah, definitely up for the wind up and enjoyed pissing people off in the urbex community.
yeah. And because everyone was always going on at him, making threats to him and whatever else, always calling him out and whatever else, it just gave him more energy to go and do it even more.
Yeah,
So if you just ignore these dickheads and leave them to it, eventually they'll stop and they'll get bored and stop.
Yeah.
yeah. So you mentioned you're going obviously abroad this weekend, is it? Which is really
Yeah,
exciting. Do you have a Pacific exploring goal for this year? Is there something that you'd really like to achieve this year?
this year I'd love to definitely get out to more countries to explore.
Yeah,
Even more so, I wouldn't say it's going to happen this year, but more so out of Europe, away from it.
Yeah.
So the actual like proper abandoned places. Like I'm talking like people are going to think, oh, you fucking copying me now for this. Japan, for example, Fukushima. I'd love to go over there
it
and do
looks
that place.
insane. Yeah,
It does look insane, and fair play to anyone that does get over there and manages, to get it done and not get caught or anything. But yeah, I'd absolutely love to go and do proper abandoned places like that.
yeah,
Absolutely,
definitely.
the UK is coming a bit crap for it now. If I'm honest with you,
Yeah.
Mm.
It is.
yeah. So, but yeah,
Okay.
That's us done. So yeah, I've enjoyed that. It's been nice to hear your stories.
I'm sure you've heard them many times before, Beck.
I have, but I enjoy listening to them. It's fascinating.
I've got to say, halfway through the podcast, I messaged Becky on WhatsApp and
Yeah,
said, I'm actually hooked. Like, because we're normally on an hour limit, and I messaged saying I would let this run over. I don't know whether it did or not,
It did.
because you're a really good storyteller. Like most, we hear these stories a lot. Obviously, at the moment, doing what we're doing,
yeah.
and they were some good fucking stories. Like honestly, especially the one about getting stuck. I felt like I was watching a film. I
Oh,
was I was really intrigued.
you should try being there, Shannon.
No. That's my worst nightmare. I'm claustrophobic anyway, so I think being stuck like that, oh no, it wouldn't be for me. But
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on, Stu. It's been really nice to get to know you a bit better.
No worries, thank you.
It's been nice having you on.
You can shut up. Stick to talking to you every day. I'm joking. Anytime.
This is a banter we have all the time. He says really nasty things to me.
Beck, do you want me to send screenshots and screen recordings of everything that you say to me?
But this is mild, and I've only seen snippets. Like, I'm telling you now, this is mild.
You've said nothing.
You'd both be in big trouble if I think the real conversations got out. But there you go. I'll just leave you to it.
Even when my phone starts ringing and the missus sees it's like got Becky Star going across my phone, or the daughter sees Becky Star going across my phone, or they hear me talking to Becky on the phone, or voice notes or anything. Oh, auntie, fancy bit again, are ya?
No, that's just
Well,
Ricky.
no, it's just a very good job I got a trusty missus. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, there's definitely, honestly, people don't need to worry.
No, definitely not. I've got standards. It's all right.
I saw on the takedown group that you two are swingers. Is that not true then?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Do a
on
bit of
that
swinging.
note, we'll say goodbye.
Okie
Yeah.
dokie. Oh, Beck,
Yeah.
who's handsome and hangs up?
See you next time. Becky.